There we go. Hi, Stacy. It's Michelle of the Dog Psychic. I've tapped into Oscar's field. He's an adorable little guy. What I'm getting right off of the bat, and I just want to go into it, is a little headachy and a little dizzy right off the bat. And I had just did a meditation to just clear my day. So I know that it's his stuff, not my stuff. Yeah, this muscle test really strong. If you hear me doing this, see I'm actually doing this. I'm muscle testing. I have the pictures in front of me right here and the camera up here, so it might look strange where my eyes are going and where they're not going. All right, so understand also with these readings that they can be really emotional. Even if it's super positive information, it can be really emotional. It's just a really strange thing for the body to take in this kind of truth. Like your cells will feel the truth in the information, and it's just it can be emotional. So it seems to me like we're tapping into Oscar's fears and anxieties, and what his past looks like, and why he's challenged to potty train. And then anything else that comes up. So the first thing as well that I like to share is that the way that my day goes is generally what the person or the animal that I'm reading is going through or feeling. So there was a part of me, and maybe this resonates with you, that I had to have everything in perfection. My house clean, the dishes done, everything before I sat down and did this reading. And then I had to do a meditation, which I don't always have to do in order to be ready for this reading. And I was doing an Abraham Hicks meditation. You just Google them. I was doing a 15-minute meditation, and at the very end of it, I just wanted to stay in it longer. So her next meditation that came up was her actually talking about in life, about how we, she calls it expect the boom. And the boom is the crash, the negativity, the things that are going to happen to us. So, and the way that we evolve out of that is to notice all of the good things rather than thinking about the negative things that can happen to us. So now, in understanding that I'm reading about Oscar's fears and anxieties, and looking at that information, and then pulling a card for myself, which I don't generally do. I generally pull cards for the people I'm reading. And I got a card that is the Priestess, and it's about how are you being called to step up and lead. And in that card, it's asking me if I were to be able to be the leader for myself. Way back when I needed a leader, I was looking for a leader. What would I be looking for? I would be looking to be nurtured. So bringing this whole conversation together, it's about, it looks to me, and I will go into his field and confirm with him, it looks to me like fearing that negative things are going to happen in your life or in his life, and then creating those negative things because we're thinking about them, and instead just nurturing the emotions that need to be nurtured and being in gratitude for the things that need to have gratitude for. So the health and the wellness and his beauty, and to let go of the story around his fears and anxieties and his past and why it's so hard to potty train. Okay, so I hope that all right off the bat is all you need to now go, ah, I totally get it. I totally get it. But because I like to dig into things, we're going to keep going. So, Oscar, I'm going to tap into him. And whenever I'm tapping into him, when I say that I'm tapping into an animal, if you could just do some nice deep breathing and tap into me, tap into him, tapping into me, tapping into him, that'd be really helpful and really beneficial for you to just let the information sink into your body. So Oscar, my name's Michelle. I feel his curiosity right off the bat. Your mom has asked me to ask you some questions. Your human mom. You have permission to talk to me. He's excited. I can feel his attitude about this is, oh goody. I haven't got that in a while, so that's nice. He says he needs to get some things off his back. That's fun. Okay. I'm just writing notes. So Abraham meditation and the boom. So he says right off the bat, he says, I don't really want to go anywhere. I don't really want to go anywhere. So he really doesn't want to go anywhere. So I wouldn't push him. You know, maybe consider, I'm going to ask him, sorry, what do you want? What do you want around there? He's quite content in your house and home and yard. Yeah, he doesn't really feel the need to go anywhere. He says maybe next year. Maybe next year. So, content in home. A lot of times with new dogs, I mean, I'd have people that would come to me with their new dogs when I had my dog training company. And they'd say, I just gave them a year off. Like, I didn't want to do anything with them. And I'd be like, okay, you know. And generally, it's a great idea to get in right away. But to avoid any negative patterns happening. But I respected that. The people just needed to believe and feel and have permission to just give their dog a year to decompress. And it actually takes up to 2 years for the neural pathways in the brain to completely change and to shift. So if he needs more time to just be able to chill out and be in the safety of his own home, I'd give him that. Because what happens with a fearful dog is if we keep instilling more fear on them, they don't ever get to heal. And this whole potty trained thing, and a dog, there's a couple pieces, but what I'm hearing right now is the more he's afraid, the more we're going to create potty training issues, because fear comes from the kidney and bladder, and excess fear will have make a dog eliminate in the house. Or, like, for example, my training facility, the dog would poop right in the training facility, and people would be like, holy cow, he just went to the bathroom. Well, nerves will do that. So if we're taking Oscar outside and he's really stressed out about it, which it seems like he is, when he gets in the house, it's not going to be uncommon for him to relax and then just, evacuate his bowels and bladder. And which starts this circle of behavior. So I'm going to go back into his field. Forgive me, I have to get rid of this light. I feel that it's not helping us at all. Ooh, boy, well, I'm super in the dark now. Sorry. Okay, so just breathe and listen then. Don't focus on me until you have to. Just breathe and listen and go into your own meditation with this. So I'm going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths. And visualize life through Oscar's eyes, okay? He doesn't want to go anywhere. He doesn't want to be forced to go anywhere. And he doesn't want to have to go anywhere. He wants to just know that he can be at home, that it's okay for him to be at home. You might even consider, I'm getting a visual of a pee pad, you might even consider pee pad training him. Plug this light up for. So pee pad train him, and just have the pee pad by the door so he actually has a safe place to go, that he's not getting in trouble. Okay? You can also take that pee pad outside with you and teach him to go outside, on it, near it, around it, anything. Just to gradually get him outdoors and confirm that he's safe and that it's a good idea for him to go outside. And when the dog is having potty training challenges, you never, ever, ever, ever give them trouble. You just have to take it on yourself to take them out every hour on the hour if you have guests or stimulation in the house. And every 2 hours if you don't. And just encourage them to go pee by saying, go pee, or go potty, or whatever you want. And then when they do, praise and treat rewarding them. Don't make a big deal out of it, because a little dog, if you excite them, just goes straight to the kidneys and bladder again. Let me ask him. Oscar, you can feel free to share your fears and anxieties with me. Loud stomping. So have everyone take their shoes off. Have a shoe-free house. That's going to help them. The stomping freaks them right out. I'm sure you already know that. What else, Oscar? Show me. Okay, slamming doors. He has a sound sensitivity. Okay. Muscle testing, yes. So he has a sound sensitivity. So watch the noise in the house. Watch the TV. Watch the radio. Watch how loud everyone's being. And create a whole quiet environment in your whole life and in your dog's life. Like everything comes through you. So however well and quiet and relaxed the household is how quiet and relaxed your family pets are going to be. They're just like little sponges and they'll take on everything that's going on for us. So fake it till you make it. I also feel that he gets cold really easy. Like from the minute I connected with him, I was cold right off the bat. And I wasn't cold before I connected with him. There's gonna muscle test. Yeah, Oscar's cold. And that can also come from the kidneys. That anxiety, that fear is causing a circulatory imbalance. Okay, Oscar. Why are you so hard to potty train? He says, it's not me. Tell me about that. Yeah. He was left for long periods of time. That's what it looks like anyways. That's the image I get. It looks to me like when the person got home, and they were like busy on the phone and stuff. So they didn't get him out right away. And it looks like he got in trouble for not being able to hold it. So he doesn't know right or wrong with it. He mostly knows wrong. So you have to teach him right. You have to teach him the right way to do this. Do you like that, buddy? I mean, he's a really eager little guy. So you can do this if you do it from a place of his level of curiosity. What's that mean? That means you have to look at life through his eyes. This has come up twice. Okay. What do you need us to know, buddy? He's comfortable there. Now, I see that there's a push and pull between him and somebody else in the family, like this push-pull. Between family members. So there can't be an argument over who gets to have him and who gets to play with him and who gets to love him or be with him. Arguments about time with him. It can't happen. It needs to stop. There needs to be a family discussion about that because it's not good for him. Okay. It's not fair for me to say needs. I should say benefit. He would benefit from a family discussion about this and rules and boundaries around it. He's still not used to having that much attention. He says he's getting used to it, but he's not used to it. He still pulls back from it a little bit. It's still confusing for him. Less attention, please. Still not used to it. It'll take time. Let him come to you. Which means let him come to all the family members. It would be really helpful if there was no going at him. Any going at him is going to cause more anxiety. Any moving towards him and wanting to pick him up and getting in his face space is going to cause more fear and anxiety. And then also on an animal behavioral note, especially for a small breed, or I mean if it was a big breed you might get bit in the face. But with a small breed, when you go moving at them, eye to eye contact, anything more than 3 seconds in a dog's opinion, as a dog's psychology, is a threat. It's confrontation. So if you want this guy to come in your space, invite him to come into your space and turn sideways, and teach everybody in the family to do that as well. I feel that it's imperative that your family learns, the whole family learns about dog body language. I feel him take like a breath of air here, just like, this is the number one thing to be able to help him, is that you understand about dog body language and understand when they're saying, nope, not right now. You know, if they're yawning, that's a calming signal to you to kind of back off a bit. If they're licking their lips, same thing. A quick lick, like a real quick flip of the lip or of the tongue is like a warning. A slow one is like a calming signal for you to back up. If they start to sniff the ground, or cower a bit, it means back away, avoid, slow down. So there's lots of kids videos and stuff that you can watch as well. I think it's going to be really important to have a full education around dog body language for him. He's like, whew. Okay, I'm just going to breathe into this one. I'm just going to go into his health and wellness right now. I'm going to do a bit of a body scan. And Stacey, to be able to do this, and you can teach if this is your daughter, this beautiful little girl, if this is your daughter, you can teach her how to do it too. So what you do is you take 3 deep breaths. And you imagine his body over your body. Or you just look at him and you look at all his different body parts and you feel them as you're feeling through your own body parts. So right now what I'm doing is I'm visualizing his ears as my ears, just feeling into his ears. Okay. The left ear, just keep an eye on it. It could be a bit achy. I'm just getting this weird energy and a little bit of, if I have to say, like a tinnitus kind of a thing. A tinnitus feel, like it's very light. 1, 2, 3, like a 2 out of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay? So then they're just going to imagine his eyes on your eyes. And you can do this as I'm doing it, as you're listening to it. It's a good idea to stop this and get a pen and paper if you haven't already got one. I should say it at the beginning, but I just dive right in. I almost can't help it. Nose. Okay. Alright. I see that he has a little bit of allergies. That's what it feels like anyways. So I'm getting images of like, watch the perfumes and colognes or any sprays that you're using in the house. He's just, I hear hypersensitive to it. So just be aware that that's something for him. Maybe you get an air purifier in the house or just get natural products. Okay, so just in his jaw, sitting in his upper jaw. Noticing your teeth. There's a lot of energy in the top right side. No pain per se, but a lot of energy. There's this like circular energy. So just keep an eye on it and then going into the bottom jaw and feeling. Yeah, watch the top right and bottom left teeth over the ears, okay? So I'm just writing environmental indoor allergies. Okay, so just watch that for his health and wellness. So now you're just gonna go, I'm gonna do some muscle testing as well as I go through. Thyroid, testosterone. Oh, excuse me, I always yawn when I do this kind of work. Thymus for the immune system, test strong. Lungs, just sitting in his lungs. Test strong. Heart, test strong. Liver, test strong. Gallbladder, strong. Pancreas, strong. Spleen, strong. That's nice. Digestive system, test strong. I already know. Adrenals, kidneys, colon. So adrenals and kidneys. So in Chinese medicine, fear comes from the kidneys. So they say a dog can't be fearful with healthy kidneys, and a dog can't have healthy kidneys and not be fearful. They go together. Every organ in the body has an emotion that goes with it. The book 4 Paws, 5 Seasons is a phenomenal book to read about that kind of stuff if it intrigues you. Super great book. One of my favorites. So the adrenal glands, like us, and remember animals are our mirror, so if you feel this way yourself, maybe take some of the suggestion. So the adrenal glands where do I want to go with this? Okay, the adrenal glands are when you just keep getting blow after blow after blow after blow of stress after stress after stress after stress. And you keep pumping cortisol through the system. A lot of dogs get super itchy and get little raw feet, red feet, or they get licking their parts, and or Addison's or kidney diseases show up. So Cushing's can show up. So if we don't address the kidney and adrenal health, you end up with a bunch of weird vet bills. Not just this potty training challenge, but actually physical problems. So if he were my dog, I would want him on something for anti-anxiety that also perhaps benefits the kidney and adrenal system. So you could go to any high, a good fancy pet store and ask for a product that is for the kidneys and bladder. Hang on. Adrenals, kidneys, bladder. So mostly I would want the adrenals. I'm asking if we're going to test or support the kidneys or adrenals right now. And his adrenal system wants to be supported right now. So adrenals are the stress, right? The stress deal with stress hormone. Kidneys deal with the bladder weakness, etc. All right. So his body's asking for the adrenals to be dealt with first. Number one. Oh, here now I'm getting these little allergies. Okay. So that's cool. Thank you. So when the kidneys get taxed is when we get allergies. So same thing with the dogs. Itchy, weepy eyes all go back to kidneys and stress. So I could go on and on about that, but what we really need to know right now and what we really need to do, I feel, if he were my dog, I would march myself off to the health food store or the pet store and ask what they have for adrenal stress for dogs. Or just calming herbs for dogs, that kind of thing. I'm going to ask, is it mental, is it emotional, physical, spiritual? So it's spiritual stuff, which means, what's it mean? He's not been acknowledged in the past. He's not been acknowledged for who he is in the past, and it's really just kind of emptied him a little bit with who he is. And made him like kind of hyperactive. So what does he want around that? Acknowledgement. So, I've been doing this for a long time, and over the past year, I guess, animals have been asking a lot for a new contract. So if you sit down with Oscar and say, okay, this is what's going on, this is what we're working on, this is what we're going to focus on, we're going to make sure that we have less noise in the home, we're going to make sure that we don't come at you when we're paying attention to you, we're going to watch the environmental allergies in the house, and we're going to put you on some herbal products for your adrenal glands to balance that out. And we're going to help you learn how to go outdoors to the bathroom calmly and properly and to be rewarded for it. So you fully understand that this is a good idea and you want to do that rather than just go inside. Okay? He'd be a really good dog to do tricks training with as well. I just saw in my head. And what that will do for him is work the right part of his brain, which is the obedience part of his brain and the creative part, which will make him want to please you and want to do things for you, which will make him inadvertently want to tell you he wants to go outside. Okay, I got it. You're going to do bell training at the door. So you can just Google it for potty training. And this is going to be so fun for everybody, okay? So the big thing is when you hear the bell ring, when you're not at it, you don't go screaming nobody goes screaming and running to the door. You can say, good boy, and go to the door and open the door and let him out. But no like, yay, he's rung the bell, that's great, like it's just too much for this little guy. It even going into that energy makes me feel kind of nauseated and dizzy. It's too much for him. And I have a feeling that it's also the too much part is causing about a bit of this headache, because as I was saying it and getting kind of dizzy, I refelt that spot in the back of my head. So thank you, Oscar. I think I don't know if you do know, but I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. So I see things, hear things, and feel things, which is a lot, but it's super helpful for doing this kind of work. So I'm going to go back into his field again. He loves you dearly, and he knows you're really trying to help him. Like he really knows that. It's really clear. He says you try a little bit too hard, so you can relax with that and just find the chill in all of this. Okay, that's your new mantra. Find the chill mantra. Dogs always have a mantra for us. Find the chill in all of this. I like that. I might have to put that on my student page. Thank you, Oscar. Okay. Oh, okay, thank you. Well, there you go. Okay, he's in your life to teach you patience and perseverance. I didn't even ask. I just heard it in my head. And he says, yeah, he's like one step ahead of me. You are. You cute little tiny bug. Okay, so I just got an image of him burrowing under blankets. Like it's a really fun thing for him to do. A really fun thing. So you can make a little game out of it. Remember, after playing games with him, take him out for a pee immediately. Because excitement triggers, so fear, anxiety, and excitement will all trigger the kidney bladder meridian. So after any fun, after any games, after any excitement, please take him out for a pee. It's so important for his success. So important for his success. And it's like, thank you for that. Well, you're welcome, little boy. What else do we need to know? I see a lot of commotion at your kitchen table. Like it's a lot of fun there. A lot of fun there. What does he need around that? He's kind of confused about it. So if you had a bed that you could put in that area, like in the kitchen area, where at dinner time you asked him to go lie down on it, so he has like a little safe spot, that could be really helpful, because there's some anxiety around the dinner time and dinner area I'm getting. Yeah. So, and he's also like kind of scrambling for crumbs and stuff, which is causing him stress because he knows he's not allowed to. So, or that he shouldn't. There's a part of him that's like, I shouldn't be doing this, but he is doing it. So that's causing a lot of stress and anxiety too, which could make him tootle off and go pee somewhere that you're not aware of. Okay. So really love him while you have him. Like really love this guy and really enjoy him when he's in this life that he's sharing with you. Love him while you have him. Just let go of his idiosyncrasies. And just support him. Like, let go of the shame and blame in all areas, with all the people involved, all of the past, all the present. And just do what you need to do with this guy. So if he pees on the floor, just go clean it up. Just breathe it out and just relax. And then take him out and say, okay, go pee. Like, just focus really hard on just loving him while you have him and not creating more stress around this for him. And going back to the card that I picked in the very beginning with the nurturing part, like if I had the leader that I would like to have had when I was a child, what would that look like? And my answer was nurturing. So like nurture, nurture, nurture. And that doesn't mean spoil, 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 or baby, baby, baby. Because that just buggers dogs up as well. Like too much affection and attention and not enough rules and boundaries makes a dog not feel that they have an adequate pack leader, and it causes more stress, and anxiety. So, you know, clear rules and boundaries, especially with him lying on his bed for dinner, and not freaking out about it, but just making it happen. If that's a challenge, you might have to get a trainer in to help you with rules and boundaries if it's too hard for you guys to do it in a calm way that he can respond to. Which means if you're asking him to go lie down and not pace around, which is really bad for him, for dogs that have anxiety, to let them pace around is really bad. It's better that they just go and lie down. If they're following you all around the house, especially before you go out in the day, it's not good for them to tell them. So it's important for you to tell them to go and lie down. So nurture, nurture, nurture. So that nurture means rules and boundaries. And then calm, respectful, corrections. So in training, I used to say correct and redirect. So if a dog would do something you didn't want them to do, it'd be like, hey, and maybe a little touch or a poke or whatever they could handle, stepping into their space. But it was always redirecting. So redirecting them to what they're supposed to be doing, not just giving them trouble and leaving them to hang. Like, you can't do this with this dog at all. It will just harm him more emotionally and spiritually. Okay. What else do we need to know, Oscar? I know. He says it's all very energy. It's all very energy draining. So now I have a feeling that this is a mirror. So I'm gonna muscle test it. This is a mirror. So if you're feeling that this is like very energy draining for you, you're gonna find that all the suggestions that I've given are gonna take that away if you follow the suggestions. I'm gonna give you something to work with rather than to be in a state like he is of fear and anxiety and not knowing what needs to happen and what doesn't need to happen, okay? Okay, buddy. It's okay. It's really, really, really important to him that you get this message in his lifetime, that you understand it, and that you're able to create this calm for him and for yourself and for the household. Really important. He says, like, there's just a lot of changes needed. So now, I'm doing a TV spot for Global News, with Global News this month. And so I'm doing these imaginary interviews with myself and asking myself what they might ask me, and you know, what is the thing I want people to know the most about this whole thing, is that animals come into our lives to teach us the lessons that we need to learn, and they need acknowledgement, and they need to know that those lessons are being learnt and that we're doing the work. That makes their life worthwhile. So if you imagine Oscar as a little sentient being coming into your life to help you learn stuff that you're not quite figuring out right now, and then when they pass on, they're like, yeah, who did my job. I just rocked it. They paid attention to everything and they did it and they came out of it a better, well-balanced, more healthy, happy person. This is important. This is important information. So acknowledging everything that Oscar's bringing into your life and doing the work is imperative. You can't just have these kind of readings and not do the work. You have to do the work. I'm not saying that you won't. I'm just feeling that there's this importance in letting you know this. Oh, okay. And don't let anyone make you feel this. These are his exact words, that your head isn't screwed on right with believing this kind of stuff and with moving forward with these actions. Don't let anyone do it. So what I might suggest is for you to write these actions that you need to take down on a board or on a piece of paper, and it goes on the fridge. And these are the actions to help Oscar. So you might have to go back and watch the video again to be able to get all of this. Okay, Oscar, is there anything else that you need us to know? So he just says, I'll be fine with time and a regime. Time and a regime. He says, take the worry out. Take the worry out. Because any worry you feel, he's going to feel. Can't fake it to a dog. Just can't. So I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you as well. Boy, what have I got going on here with this deck? It's a brand new deck. And I'm going to pull a couple of Denise Lynn cards. Denise Lynn cards tell you what you need to do in your life for healing. I'm going to grab the light again so you can see the cards. All right. Okay. All right. This is the Denise Lynn Native Spirit deck. I've done some of her courses in the past. And this is the Work Your Light Oracle deck. It's a brand new deck to me. I really like it. I bought it when I went to have a reading recently from a psychic intuitive, which just ended up in a big jibber-jabbery talk show between the two of us. Literally a talk show. All right. So I'm just going to go through this deck. I'm just lightly shuffling it. I'm going to ask what we need to know for Stacey and Oscar's highest good and greatest joy. Directly for Stacey. And then the next... Oh, okay. Sorry. For Oscar. This deck's for Oscar. From his message to his mom. What do we want your mom to know? Other than that you love her, I know. Okay. I don't know what that means. Okay. So it looks, sorry, the reason I said that is because I have two kind of popping out here. So I'm going to take the one I can, well, I'm going to take all three of these. Okay. Okay. That's cool. So the first card here, see the girl floating up in the air there? It's called Awakening. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So that goes hand in hand with everything that we were saying here. Like, he's inviting you to have an energetic upgrade and a new way of being. I put the mom stuff and the work stuff and everything aside. And just give yourself an energetic upgrade. Let's see here. These cards don't have numbers on them, so I have to look it up every single time. It's silly. Just do some deep breathing. Where is it? Ah, Page 88, double eights. So that's prosperity, which is fun. Okay. You're going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you on many levels. You're starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more about who you are and why you incarnated. You might find that you're experiencing past lives flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that's woven through all life, or even feeling Kundalini rise through your body from the base of your spine. If not, do some Kundalini yoga. Okay? The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it, like I was saying earlier, and to stay grounded. Share your experiences with like-souled people, like I was saying here, while you consciously integrate them. Journal and pay attention to your dreams. You're remembering your soul, and your gifts are emerging. During this time of transition and awakening, you might be called to devote yourself to being of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, creations waiting to be birthed into this world. Stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card might be a sign that you're here to birth one of these creations into the world. Or perhaps you're being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following. I surrender to my awakening. I allow the energy to rise up from the base of my spine. Holy moly, hang on a minute. I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Shakti energy to rise up from the base of my spine. I just read a dog yesterday and his name was Shakti. So this is pretty cool. I open myself up to the universe, using me in a way that delights my body, mind, and spirit. I'm going to say that one more time. I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Shakti energy to rise from the base of my spine. I open myself up to the universe, using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit. Okay. So that's everything we already talked about, which doesn't surprise me because this is what I do and I see it all the time. The other one is Age of Light. Oh, okay. It goes right in hand with it. It says, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Okay. 86. I'm still in the 8s. Okay. Mystics and sages through the ages have predicted this period in history, and you decided to incarnate in the middle of it. There's no mistake that you're supposed to be in here at this time of great change. If you feel unprepared or daunted by the path that's calling you, know this. You've been training for lifetimes. You're way more than the days you've breathed through in this lifetime. You're also all of the lifetimes that came before. All of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. Okay, blah, blah. You came in with a clear soul plan. You came in with a wisdom beyond your years. This is the part of you that is ready to be seen. This part of you that is ready to step forward, that's ready to emerge. It's not for the lifetime. It's not for the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth and to be seen and rise. So your mantra is, I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received through all of my lifetimes. I'm ready to embody them all now without hesitation, without fear. That's what you contacted me about, was fear and anxiety. I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received through all my lifetimes. I'm ready to embody them all without hesitation, without fear. I've been training for this for lifetimes. Okay? And the last one is, so do some deep breathing right now. Whoopsie. The last one's trying to get away from me. That's what it is. Unbound. So the old ladies are floating up into the air. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So that's good. So you're obviously releasing stuff in order to be able to do the work that you're supposed to be doing right now. That your little tiny itty bitty dog Oscar is introducing you to. Or at least the basis of. So you can get started. And what page is this? 94. Okay. It's time to release all old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They're coming up to be healed. There's never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at the patterns in your life that you're ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence, chastity, or poverty. It's time to unwind from them. This is a life in which you free yourself from trauma of past lives. What old ways of being have an expiry date? When you name them, you claim them and stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it's also important to acknowledge how they've served you up until now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small is caused by a soul fear of being seen, or sharing your voice would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It's time to unbind from the old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. So to me, this goes hand in hand with quietening your household, creating a lot of peace and quiet in your household so you can hear the messages you need to hear, and you can hear the messages that Oscar's trying to get to you. So to activate your work, you say, I release all old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came to be here in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, unbound, forever unbound. What was he saying? Nurture, nurture, nurture. Nurture, nurture, nurture. Unbound, unbound, unbound. Again, I release all old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, unbound, forever unbound. I'm sure that right now you're just like, oh my God, that was the coolest thing ever. Because it was. Okay. I'm writing the numbers on the cards so I don't have to make people wait in the future. Although it's a great opportunity to breathe. Breathing is free. So now I would like to ask Oscar if he has one more message as I'm shuffling the cards from the Denise Lynn deck. I'm just going to ask. Oh, okay. What do you mean by that? He's what he said now was, I want to go now. Oh, okay. That's so funny. He's finished. But what I got from it when I dug in a little bit was that he feels just a little bit more brave, like with going outside and stuff. But just really take your time with him with this. So I'm going to. I'm willing a card to flop out of the deck, and it's not happening. So I'm going to just take one from the top. I can't even. I have to cut it in half and take one from the middle. Ooh, so you got the Ancestors card. This is a message from Oscar. So to me, Oscar is part of your ancestor group. And this card asks you to call upon them and lets you know that they're around at all times and you're supposed to be calling on them for guidance. So he's a part of this, of your ancestor group. He's been with you in lifetimes before. How many lifetimes, Oscar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 8. Okay, he's been with you for 8 lifetimes. So has he been with you in this lifetime? Yes. What age? 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So around 16 years old, there's a dog in your life. To me, I just got an image of a black dog. Looks like a lab, might be smaller. It potentially, it feels like there's potential that Oscar is that dog. They don't always live with you. Sometimes they can live in the neighborhood. Then you just had a love for them, a direct connection with them. You pass them by. They live with a family member. So I'm sure right now you know exactly who that is. So I don't have to dig in anymore. It's nice for you to be able to dig a little bit and play a little bit with this too. Sometimes these kind of things won't come to you right away. It'll like take 3 or 4 days and you'll be like, oh my God, that was the dog that lived on the corner that used to chase me down the road. Or that's the dog that I used to walk for the neighbors. Or that's the dog that I watched across the road, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's really open. Is there anything, Oscar, you'd like me to know around that? He tells me that it needs to be trained into you. So using your intuition needs to be trained into you. And he wants to help you. That's funny. What a wise little dude. He's like, he wants to be there for you and he wants to help you. He's like, I'm here for you. So he's there for you. You're a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful little soul, Oscar. When I ask him if there's anything he wants more, he's like, I love her and I want to go now. So he does want to go now. It's a lot for him. I'm starting to feel a little bit of some headachy stuff. So again, too much stimulation for him makes him headachy. So be really aware of that for him and change it for him and for you. Okay? And your beautiful little angel girl there. What a beautiful little girl. Okay, so give yourself 3 days with this information. And then please get back to me and let me know how it felt and what's unfolded. And let me know how it works for you with implementing all these things for Oscar. And for yourself, whether it's you let me know in a day, a week, a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, just let me know, because this always helps other people if and when I get to use stories on how the dogs taught the people, all right, and what they opened up for them. So God bless you in your journey, Stacey. He's a beautiful little soul. You now have a really good idea of what is beneficial in both of your lives and where you need to go with some of this action. So blessings, blessings, blessings. And if you have any questions about the reading, this actual reading that you don't understand, you get 3 extra questions if there's questions about the read. But I ask people to wait for at least 3 days, sometimes a week, because generally the answers come to you anyways, right? And it's about you learning to tap into this as well, okay? So blessings, you guys. Thank you, Oscar, you sweet little soul. God bless your little self. It's just adorable. Okay. Over and out, friends. Over and out. Peace. Shakti. Shakti. That's what it was. Shakti, Shakti, Shakti.